Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first part of my series, How to Start a Fashion Brand from Scratch. When I first started OVA, I had so many questions that I wanted to know the answers to, and even Googling them, even messaging people I knew who had their own companies, there was always like a wall up, right? We have talked so much like on social media about gatekeeping, and this is like seriously for real when it comes to the fashion industry. So my whole goal with this series is to just break down those walls and just really tell you what is going on this side of the camera for OVA. I am by no means saying that this is the only way to do it or that this is the right way to do it. I just want to share like what my journey is because I think it's going to be able to help other people who want to do the same thing. So today we're going to get into the first thing I did when it came to starting my clothing brand. It's not what you think it would be, but I want to share it anyways because I feel like it was the best and biggest step that I could have done to starting my own brand. So the first thing that I did when I was on my journey to starting my brand OVA was I went to therapy and I went to life coaching. I was in a place where I felt like I had a glass ceiling over my head when it came to starting my own business. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in a very conservative household and family and social structures that were around me. So as a woman and as a woman of color, I had so many limiting beliefs based on what people had said I could do and what I couldn't do. And it was very clear growing up that you can't own your own business. You can't follow your dreams to a certain extent. You have to do the right thing the right way, which just made me really feel so boxed in for years. So before I had gotten into fashion at all, I was actually on a PhD track, which sounds funny, but also like that's what I was doing. That's what I felt was the only thing I could do was education. So I really had to like push down my entire creative side, which is wild because like that's literally all I do now is like fashion and creative work. So yeah, like I really had to dismantle those structures that were in my head showing me what I could and couldn't do. So I'm not going to say that this was easy by any means. I decided to start this journey when I was in grad school at USC getting my master's in marketing, and it was a great time to do it, but also like not the best because I was in an accelerated 1-year program and I started it like my last semester. So it kind of consumed my life because I was really working on healing myself so that I can reach the next level of my dreams, especially when I graduated. Because as you know, USC is a very prestigious school. We all had these tracks that we wanted to go on and achieve. And this was mine that I wanted to achieve. But I knew like I couldn't do that without like working on the roots of my issues. And those things still come up for me. I'm not going to pretend that just because I launched my brand, like all those things went away. They haven't, but I know now how to work on them, how to work through them. I don't anymore make self-deprecating jokes about myself. I don't put myself down based on my language or my words or how I think about myself. I try to talk to myself like I'm my best friend. I do self-care. I make sure that I'm investing in me and what's best for me. I had never done any of that before. So really just changing my mindset first to I can achieve this, I can do this, was amazing. I had heard this metaphor. It's in this book called like, I think it's called You Are a Badass or something. Like I read it when I was in grad school going on this journey. And in the book, it says this metaphor where if you have a garden and the soil is moldy or rotten, and you plant the most beautiful flowers that you love and you spend all day and all your time planting those flowers, it doesn't matter how much time you took planting them. It doesn't matter if you water them, if you put them in shade. If that soil is rotten, those flowers will not grow. So I like totally took that analogy and was like, that really like unlocked the next level for me, because I was like, you know what? That is why in the past I felt like no matter what I did to nurture these flowers, they were not blooming. They were not yielding in the same way that I had wanted them to. So I had to go and make sure that the soil was good, and till the soil and make sure that it was ready for those flowers to be planted. And I feel like they are now. So that would be my first tip, my first advice. If you're trying to start your own brand, try to first clear space in your life, whatever that means. Dismantle negative beliefs. Work on believing in yourself, because there are going to be days that are going to be really, really hard. And you're the only one who's going to believe in your vision, who's going to believe in your dream, and who's going to support you. So you really need to have that foundation firm and that soil like tilled and nurtured and ready to go. So good luck. And of course, stay tuned for our next episode of this series of how to start a clothing brand from scratch. Bye.